Whether you should be relaxed or not is a really interesting question and an important question for you to consider as an athlete. Because if you try to get yourself relaxed, but you get too relaxed, we can see you perform slowly and not give as much effort as you need to. But if you're more anxious and tense and stressed, that will equally cause you to underperform. So, what we're going to explore in today's episode is what the idea of being relaxed really means for you as an athlete, and how you can use this idea and pair it with trying to be more motivated and giving more effort to help you reach your full potential. Hey there. I'm Eli Straw, a mental performance coach who works with athletes from around the world on building a stronger mental game. When we are discussing getting relaxed, we need to specify what we actually mean. Because I can remember back when I was in college, I got really anxious. And so I remember going into a game trying to be completely relaxed, nonchalant, and I went a little bit too far to the extreme to where I was slow. I wasn't reacting as quickly as I needed to be. And so it actually hurt me to try to be so relaxed. But likewise, when I got so anxious and so worked up and tried to get myself really excited and amped up to play, that caused me to be too tense, and it equally caused me to underperform. And I see this pattern happen with a lot of the athletes I work with, and we have to figure out how do we balance the two. And I think the way we balance the two is getting clear on what we actually mean by being relaxed. Whenever you go and compete, and this is something we see throughout all sports, you're going to be quicker and more powerful if your muscles are loose than you're going to be if you're all tense and tight. As a baseball player, I focused on being relaxed at the plate, not in the sense of being slow at the plate, but in the sense of I needed my body, my muscles to be relaxed and to be loose so I could be quick. The same thing is true with a golf swing. You don't want to be tense standing over the ball. You want to be nice and relaxed and loose. It's also going to be true if you play basketball. You don't want to take a shot all tensed up. You want to be nice and loose, nice and relaxed, nice and smooth. So when we're discussing being relaxed physically, I always think that the better term for us to consider is being smooth with our movements. When we are smooth, we are quick and we are powerful. We don't want to be slow. That's not what I mean when I'm talking about being relaxed. We want to be nice and smooth. If we are smooth, we end up being more fluid. We perform better. Think about a sprinter. You don't want to be a sprinter and have all your muscles tense while you're running. You want to relax your muscles because it allows you to be quicker. It allows you to be faster. It's easier, I think, for us to understand what the optimal type of relaxation is for us physically when we play, because we can see it as the difference between a tense muscle and the difference between a loose and relaxed muscle. A loose and relaxed muscle is more fluid, it's quicker, it's going to be more athletic. I hope you're enjoying today's episode. I just wanted to take a quick break to remind you that I do offer one-on-one mental coaching for athletes. It's a 12-week program where we will have weekly coaching sessions. It begins with an assessment, and it also has a workbook that includes exercises for you to go through between our sessions. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I've put a link in the description below. When we transfer this idea to what it means to be relaxed mentally, that's where we can start to get too far into this realm of being slow, being too relaxed, not being focused, because we aren't really looking at what it truly means to be relaxed mentally. So what I'm referring to when I say we want to be relaxed mentally when we play is we want to have a calmer mind. When we are not relaxed mentally, our mind is racing. We are thinking about anything and everything that could happen. We are thinking about past mistakes. We are overthinking our mechanics. That's not a calm and relaxed mind. A calm and relaxed mind is a mind that is focused on what's happening right now, and we have a relaxed focus instead of a tense focus. When you have a tense focus when you play, this is where you're straining so hard to do something, right? You're really, really focusing on hitting the ball. You're really focusing on making this shot. You might be focused in the moment, but you're not focused in a calm and relaxed way. And that mental tension will then create the physical tension that we don't want. But if your mind is calmer, you have more of a relaxed focus, You're going to have more of a relaxed body and more of an athletic body and athletic movements. So, how do you go about creating this calmer, more relaxed mind and making sure that you do so in a good way to where you're also able to still be quick, you're still able to be locked in, you're still able to give a lot of effort? Well, I think the easiest way to do so is to think about a mind that is calm to a point where it's thinking about one thing instead of a mind that's thinking about a bunch of stuff. And when we look at it like that, we see that a tense mind is a mind that's overthinking, it's racing, it's thinking about a lot of different things. A calm, relaxed mind is a mind that is focused on one thing, like I said earlier. So when you're going into a game, if you want to have a calmer mind, just try to focus on what's happening right now in front of you and try to do so with a relaxed level of focus. And then the way that you bring this idea of playing hard, playing aggressive, giving effort back into this equation is that the whole reason why we want to have a calm mind is so that we are quick with our reactions and with our movements. We still want to be giving effort and we are trying to be quick when we play, but we're doing so from a point of a calm mind. And the analogy I always like to give is that if you are on a boat in the ocean and the ocean is really wavy, it's really stormy, it's more difficult for you to move fast across the water. But if the ocean is calm and it's a still ocean, it's much easier for you to move quickly across the water in the boat. Just like if your mind is stormy and racing and full of these waves of thoughts and you're thinking about anything and everything, your mind is not calm, then it will be more difficult for you to make quick decisions, to be focused, to have a good reaction time, and then most importantly, to move in a quick and efficient way on the field or on the court. But if your mind is calm, you're just focusing in the moment on what's happening right now. It's easier for you to make quick decisions. You're going to have a better reaction time, and then you're going to have quicker, more effective movements on the field or on the court. So now if we take this whole idea of being relaxed mentally, where we're just thinking about what's happening right now, we're having a calmer mind, in order to create this nice, loose and relaxed body so we can be quick, we can be more athletic when we play, and we think, well, how do we actually make that happen? Well, as I said earlier, it's going to come down to focusing on one thing when you play. And this is where you want to set yourself some objectives to stay present, or maybe you just focus on, trying to really lock on to what's happening right now in the game to keep yourself focused on what's happening right now. But we can also think about training this calmer mind or getting into this calmer mindset before the game even begins. This is where you can use an exercise like mindfulness meditation or a breathing exercise to calm your mind, not because you're trying to get into a slow, too relaxed state, but because we are trying to calm those racing thoughts going into the game. And if you do something like mindfulness meditation or breath work, or you perform some sort of mindfulness exercise throughout the week, you are also working to instill this skill of being able to be calmer mentally. And so whenever I'm talking to athletes and they kind of push back a little bit thinking, yeah, I don't want to be too relaxed when I play, I always reframe that idea of being relaxed to being calm mentally. And that's what I really want you to take away from this episode. You do not want to be too relaxed when you play because then you're not going to be quick. But you equally don't want to be too tense and too stressed when you play because that's going to make you slow. That's going to keep you from performing well. We want to be calm. We want to be calm mentally so we can make quick decisions, and we want to have loose and relaxed muscles which stem from a calmer mind so we can be quicker and we can be more athletic. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in my one-on-one coaching program where we'll work on being calmer mentally, work on developing all sorts of mental skills like confidence, focus, moving on from mistakes, and much more, I put a link to learn more about that in the description below. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.